Okay, so let's start. As always, you know the rule of meditation. No need to go to the bathroom. That's the real rule. Other than that, you can close your eyes or you can keep them open and have a soft gaze. So let's start. Take a few deep breaths. As you breathe in, feel your belly rising, and as you breathe out, feel your belly going down. There is no other place you need to be in. There is nothing else you need to be doing. You are here and now. Allow your breath to find its own pace. It doesn't have to be deep. It doesn't have to be short. It doesn't have to be from your nose or mouth. It doesn't matter. Just allow it to find its own pace. Keep your attention on your breath. Thoughts may come up and thoughts will come up because it's the work of your brain, it's the job of your brain to think. Whenever a thought comes up, gently allow your focus to go back from the thought to your breath. Each breath has a beginning, a middle between inhale and exhale, and an end. Become aware of the beginning, middle, and end of your breath. Become aware of the contact points of your body, where you sit, the way your chair or your bed supports your body. If your feet touch the floor, the way the floor supports your body. And become aware of your hands, if they touch each other, your legs, the table, the chair. And take your attention back to your breath. Try to catch the moment that the air enters your body and the travel that the air does in your body. If you want and if you feel comfortable, put a smile on your face. Smile and see if there is a difference in your experience as you smile. And at your own pace, come back to the screen. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Khadija. And thank you, Rabia. Okay, are we all back? Is there a way of like, thank you. Is there a way of like assessing that? I don't know, but let me ring the bell again. So if somebody has fallen asleep, maybe just to wake up.
You can write your feelings, guys.
Yes.
How you feeling right now?
Oh, that's so cool. Yeah. That's all about mindfulness, like being, like focusing on one thing at a time. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so let's start. We had finished with Namaste, and we'll finish with Namaste today too. And so, Namaste meant my essence sees your essence, and my essence recognizes your essence. So, that type of thing. So, today we'll see our own essence. Our first intention is to see our own essence and to see what we need. So let me start with what emotional first aid is. I mean, I shared what emotional first aid is, but let me start with the three components of emotional first aid. The three components of emotional first aid are self care, empathy, and mindfulness. I won't go over mindfulness that much today because we have gone over mindfulness like in the last session, like the whole session. But one of the things that stand out for me in mindfulness, and I may start with that because like uh, what connected us actually was my work with mindfulness. So I want to add that part before I move on to self-care is the idea of being versus doing. And I think we didn't cover that like deeply last time, right? So usually what happens for us is because for us to grow up and to become successful, and all of you are successful people because you have made all those applications to attend this program and you were successful to attend it. So to be able to come to the level where you can make that application and be accepted, but let alone be accepted, like where you can make that application, you need so much thinking and you need so much like, wait, how do I make that better? Like, what is it, you know, that that I can develop myself in? And as we grow up, that's the message we get, like, be better, learn more, do this, do that. And the way we get that message is unfortunately many times based on the idea of you're not good enough. I mean, actually, the message could as well be like, how can you be better? But usually in school or in the like, in the like deep darks of comparing ourselves with other people and stuff like that, we have like that idea of like, you're not good enough and how can I be better, you know, that type of thing. And what happens is our brain is somehow like programmed to have like this, I have to be better, I have to do something. And we believe as we grow up that we can solve our problems with thinking, which is true to a certain extent. We can solve certain problems with thinking. Like I can solve my problem of creating slides with thinking. I can write to Google, like, how do I create slides? And then do all those things that are necessary and do all the analytical thinking part. But usually, when we are dealing with more emotional problems, and actually also when we are dealing with more technical problems that we believe we can solve with thinking and we can solve with thinking, actually we could solve all of them with doing with being too, by being too. But the way we handle our emotional problems, the way we can get over them, or the way we can allow them transform is a better word for it rather than get over it. The way we can allow them transform and the way we can heal is through being. And the invitation here is from human doing to human being. Can we transform from human doings to human beings? And what happens is if we can spend more and more time during the day with being in the being mode, the doing will emerge naturally. And you can think of it like this, or you can be this like this, to put it in a better way. You can think of this like this. For example, sometimes everything, like you're like so calm and you're and sometimes this is before sleep, right before sleep, like an idea comes and like the way you can put it into practice comes to, it's because you're grounded the idea and the solutions can emerge from your being mode. So what mindfulness enables you to do in long run is this: And that's like the way I can watch Göksel's YouTube videos and see like School of Creativity on YouTube and say like, wait, I can do School of Mindfulness on YouTube. That's like where the idea emerges. And then it can flow. This is another approach to life. And it's an invitation. And I'm not saying like transform your life 180 degrees. What I'm saying is spend maybe 10, 15 minutes a day. If not, spend a minute or two a day. Like the first invitation is about 3 minutes, but whatever. Okay, let's move on. Self-care. Self-care is, what I mean by self-care is taking good care of ourselves. It's our responsibility to know ourselves and to actually care for ourselves, to be doing all those things that feel good to us. For that, the invitation is to remember what feels good to you, or to recognize what feels to you, or to discover what feels to you, wherever you are at. What Corona did to us is like many of the things that feel good to us aren't available anymore. Like, for example, for myself, teaching in a classroom felt super good for me. And now I'm adapting it to Zoom. And or like going out with my friends and having a cup of coffee felt super good for me. And now I'm trying to find something to replace that. So for all of us, it's right now our responsibility to see whatever feels good to us during the Corona days. And actually, it's interesting that your job in the next stages of this is to adapt whatever we have to the needs of the humanity after COVID. That's like the soul of the program, right? I'm okay. so so can we start with us? Like what feels good to us? And if that's okay, I want to share a few slides, and because I'm so proud of my slides, by the way. I mean, I could do it totally without slides too, but it was like a lot of emotion as we created these slides with my assistant. So I just want to show off with them. And then I'm showing off like to Göksel and Evren too, you know, like they are able to create like 1,000 times better slides, but it's okay. You are gentlemen, so that's fine. Okay. Whatever is in our emotional first aid kit is different for everybody. So it's okay that something feels good to us and something else feels good to somebody else. But be aware of whatever feels good to you and don't judge yourself for that. Like, don't judge yourself for if it feels good to you to binge Netflix. Don't judge yourself for if it feels good to you to just sit by yourself and watch the air and the ceiling and just calm down. That's okay. We don't have to be productive as we self-care. We don't have to be learning something as we self-care. But one thing about binge Netflixing or binge anything is it's important for us to know that we are doing it for the joy of it, not for the numbness that it brings to us. So if something that you put into your emotional first aid kit numbs you, stop before it numbs you, because like our intention is to feel more and more alive within our bodies, within our communities, and then within the world, so that we can spread aliveness, we can spread vitality in long run. So music in this is really, really powerful and important. The invitation here is to create 2 Spotify lists. And in one of my classes, I have no clue how they did it, but I'm positive that you guys have a clue about it. They started co-creating music lists for their class. So, and that's something we can do too. We could create a Spotify list, and then everybody can add songs that uplift their moods. And then we can create another Spotify list, and where everybody can upload songs or music that can that relaxes them. So there's two types of music that I want to focus on, and those are the two lists that I just mentioned. What's the music that uplifts you, and what's the music that relaxes you? Music is super powerful. If I would turn on some type of music here, I could change the atmosphere here. I could change the um, environment here. If I put on like some type of sad music, what happens is we all become kind of sad, emotional. If I could put like some type of like lovely music that's like reggae music, for example, that's like created to create joy in people, we all start feeling a little bit more joyful. And I'm sure there's like a reference person for all of those in all the countries that you live in right now. Like for us in Turkey, it's like for me, the sad music person is Sezen Aksu, and the happy music person is Komik Günler, funny days in Turkish. So whatever makes you feel good, and I think it would be a good collaborative idea to have like music from all over the place that we can use from each other too. So I don't know if you'd be interested in that, Göksel and Dr. Eren, but I think we could do that. Anyway, so, and if you feel like really down or sad, you could go and listen to music that relaxes you. And if you feel like some type of down, you could go and listen to music that uplifts your mood. But the thing is, the invitation here is to listen to music that uplifts you every single day for about 30 minutes. We, as mindfulness teachers, uh, encourage people to not do two things at the same time. But if you don't have time, this is the one thing that's okay that you can do behind the scenes as you wash the dishes, as you iron, as you do the laundry, listening to music that uplifts you. So the aim here is to just increase your mood during the day, but also the aim, like the head fake, in other words, is for you to have a tool, to get to know a tool that you can use to uplift yourself when you choose. Many times people listen to music that's very, very sad when they are sad, because what happens is, for example, I'm like very, very sad because my lover just left me and I'm super angry at him, and I'm like so sad, so I listen to that deep, dark and sad music, and what happens is I feel so connected to the singer. I'm like, Sezen is my best friend, she gets what I feel, and I'm like so in connection with her. She kind of gives me, like, that music kind of gives me empathy, and that's fine. I'm not saying don't listen to that type of music when you're sad. I mean, indeed, I'm not saying to do or not do anything, but that's not my message. My message is to add the music that uplifts you, and to know when you listen to that music and when you're deeper in that emotional darkness, which is fine, we all need to go to those places at some point, knowing that you can get out of them. That's like the message here. The same thing happens with people too. There are a few types of people, and those are people who can um, uplift us, like people with whom we like spending time with, and that's like a joy to have a conversation with them. I think it's like bubbles of a soap, like that type of friends. And then there are also people who with whom we have more deep relationships, where we can share our deep issues and our deep joys too. Those are people who have deserved the right to listen to our stories, who have deserved the right to listen to our vulnerabilities. And we need to have both. So think about who is more in your life, like, or who is those people and who is those people, and connect with them on regular basis. Especially in Corona days, I think it's important to find some ways to connect with people that are that mean to us. I mean, that mean something to us, that mean deep positive things to us. I think it's very, very valuable. Actually, today a friend of mine reached out to me and he wrote like, "Hi, I'm this, can we talk sometime?" And he wanted to ask for help. It's fine. And then I called him and I said, "Of course, I know your number. You don't need to introduce your number to me." And he said, "I know, I assume," and he said, "I felt really sad as I wrote this because we haven't talked for such a long time." That's like how friendships fade, and it's okay. Friendships do fade and they do come together again. But I think during those Corona days and during any time, it's important to connect with people who are meaningful for us. All of those things that I've been telling you, we are talking in really unusual days, but the invitation is to do them in days that are regular and to keep doing them in days that are unusual. Right now, the whole world is going through something really weird. I mean, for the lack of a better word, and we are all being affected by something. So it's important to have some type of connection to people, but also to protect our hearts. The third group of people that I want to mention, but it's not the issue of today, but I want to mention them because many people have experiences with them. Those are toxic people. Those are the people that you talk to them and they just vacuum your energy. It's like they afterwards you feel so depleted, and sometimes those are in our family, sometimes those are in our circles, sometimes those are in our workplaces, which is the hardest, I think. And I'm super grateful to be working like with Dr. Evren and Göksel in this setting because it's like the total opposite of that. And I was mentioning that actually to somebody yesterday too. I was like, like work can be something like this too, like joyful, being nice to each other, saying thank you. I was like telling those things. Anyway, thank you again. So, but where do we find our boundaries, and can we have healthy boundaries with those people so that we can protect our hearts and we can protect our vulnerabilities? Those are not times where we say like, wait, I want to improve my skills of like assertiveness. I mean, you can, it's okay, but like, or I want to learn how to endure this and get better. No, we want to protect our hearts at this point, and we want to be together with people who actually polish us, who actually make us grow, who actually help us. I think the word that I like for that is to help us blossom. That's the image that I always have. And that's why I'm a little bit heartbroken around all the competitiveness in the world, because like every flower blossoms at its own pace, and no flower looks at the flower next door and says like, next vase, let's say, and says like, oh, why does she flower like more quickly than I did? They don't care. And why do we? And why do all those other people care about who flowers more, like who flowers more quickly, who flowers more to more colors? We end up becoming who we are, and create, like, we need to create, at least in our social worlds, the space who actually support our blossoming to who we are. Okay, let's move to empathy. That's the second component of emotional first aid, and that is we all need that, I mean, at least most people need when we go through something, when we are having a hard experience, it's always a good idea to have an empathic ear. So to reach out to somebody who has deserved the right to listen to our stories and who has deserved the right to witness our vulnerabilities or to enter our shame with us. Like, so what we want to do is to define empathy first. Empathy is actually giving like, let me start with this. Empathy gives this message. I want to understand what it means you what it means to be you at this moment. Like, for example, if I would like to empathize with Göksel, is that okay, Göksel? I mean, I will just empathize with you admitting all those people, so it's nothing deep that's gonna be happening. But when I would like to empathize with Göksel, that would be something like, I want to understand what it is to be listening to me at the same time and having also your attention at something else and making sure that all the technicalities are working out, and also assessing if everything is working out at its own pace, and also seeing like who has attended and what's happening. Probably you're doing that, and also following the chat, and like what happens in your brain. I want to understand like all those parts of that, and in the meantime also wanting to enjoy this, like having also that experience of like, okay, I want to be like here too, kind of, you know. I don't know, does that reflect your experience, Göksel? I'll admit, Ali, and you can respond.
Reality, yes.
Sorry?
This is the reality, yes. You said totally.
Okay, cool. So, and that's empathy. So what we want is, we want to find people, and if we encounter somebody who is having a difficult experience, and if we want to be in their emotional first aid kit, or we want to help them, we want to really convey them the message. I want to understand what it's like to be you at this moment. I'm really genuinely curious and open to that. And I want to be able to take your perspective. And sometimes it's hard to take the perspective of somebody else. And I think the whole program here is also a little bit about being able to take the perspective of people that you're going to be serving at the end. I mean, um, as you design, like what you want to is, you want to like be able to take the perspective of those people that you're designing for. So, and sometimes if there are physical limitations, it's easier to take a perspective. So what I mean is, like, for example, if somebody is on a wheelchair, and if they tell you something in the lines of like, you know, I'm on a wheelchair and I would like you to sit down when you talk to me because I can't stand up and I want to be at the same eye level when we talk, it's easy to understand that. Or if somebody tells you, I'm in a wheelchair and I can't do that by myself and I need help around that, it's easy for you to understand that because you can see the frame in which this person operates. And the same thing happens with thoughts and feelings. It's harder when somebody comes to you and says like, no, I can't say no to my boyfriend. Or when somebody comes and says to you, no, I can't use those bright colors in this design because I don't know. It's because they have a frame through which they look, and we want to maybe expand the frame, and maybe we want to accept the frame because there are frames that we can expand, there are frames that we can accept. But to understand that, that's the invitation of empathy. My favorite definition of empathy comes from Pema Chodron. Pema Chodron defines empathy as being able to sit with somebody, or as sitting with somebody in her darkness and knowing that it's not your darkness and not being afraid of darkness. So it is, can I sit with somebody, or who can sit with me in my darkness when I'm having all those emotions and sit next to me, with me, and not be afraid of the intensity of my emotional states? Can they not be afraid of the intensity of what's going on in me? So can they not be afraid of my darkness? To be able to not be afraid of somebody else's darkness is usually involves usually to know your own darkness, because many times when we sit with somebody in their darkness, we confuse it with our own darkness. And that's like where everything messes up. So can I know my darkness? And can I sit with that person in their darkness? Who are those people who can sit with you in your darkness? Those are the people who have deserved the right to listen to your vulnerabilities, to your stories, to witness your vulnerabilities. And those are the people that you want to reach out to when you need. And those are the people that you want to put in your own emotional first aid kits. And before I want to move on to what can we do in this, what can we do in that, I want to talk about shame a little bit, because I think it's very important, and I think it's probably the most important thing that I will say. It will take about 2 minutes, so it's not like super long or super intense, but I think it's one of the things that I would love people to remember out of this is shame does happen. It's We all feel shame now and then. And what this is the shame resilience theory of Brené Brown. Shame grows in secrecy, judgment, and silence. So if you feel shame for anything, and if you're silenced for it, or if you believe you need to be silent about it, if it's a secret, or if you believe that it needs to be a secret, if you're judged for it, or if you judge yourself for it, shame grows. But the one place where shame can't grow is when you put empathy on it, when you pour empathy on it. So when you recognize your shame, when you recognize like even the smallest thing about it, go to somebody and say, give me a dosage of empathy. I'm having a shame moment. Please give me a dosage of empathy. That's our invitation. And I want to show you the slide for that. It's from my book, actually. It's so that's from my book. The book's name is not Empathy Shower. The book's name is Bondage for Your Soul. But this is like, can I take an empathy shower if I experience shame? That's the invitation. And the illustration is by İpek Yinsu, who is a common friend of me and Dr. Evren. She's a contemporary artist in Turkey at the moment. So let's see. Okay. So how should we proceed? You could also write on the chat, or Göksel, you can decide. Anxiety, failure, rejection.
Marianne said about something about Brené Brown.
Yes, that's great.
She's a great author, right? And you should watch and talk, and you should read her books.
Yes. Okay. Do I decide, or will you give me a suggestion, all of you?
Let's throw a suggestion for us.
Okay. Will they?
Yeah.
Do I suggest, or do you suggest? I'm sorry.
You can suggest something about that. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So let's start with rejection.
Rejection.
We all get rejected. And I think if you are never rejected, that means you're not assertive. If you are never rejected, that means that you never wanted to expand your own frame, your own window. And we all get rejected. It's like we get rejected in our families, we get rejected in our friendships, we get rejected romantically, we get rejected at school, like when we apply to schools, because we don't usually apply to just one thing at a time. And we also get rejected and in our jobs. And I think it's important to remember when we get rejected that this is not necessarily about us. I'm not saying don't outgrow yourself. I'm not saying don't develop yourself. I'm not saying don't get new skills, or I'm not saying like sit down and like expect something beautiful to happen. I mean, you can, by the way. That's like what I love most, like sitting down and expecting something beautiful to happen. That's like my favorite activity, like dreaming. But what I'm saying is, many times we get rejected in situations and we believe there is something wrong with us. And that's not true. What happens is the needs of the people who reject us and our offerings don't match. It's a story of harmony, actually, not necessarily a story of um, not being good enough, or not being not having some type of, let me put it, wait, of course I made a mistake at some point. Yes, can you see that?
Yes.
Okay, so it's actually about harmony. It's actually about like, does my offering match their need? And many times we get rejected because what we offer doesn't match their needs. And we believe we get rejected because we are bad. And it's the same with lovers, it's the same with friends. Like sometimes cultures of friendships don't work out. Like sometimes some groups of friends want to go out every Friday evening, and if you're not that type of person, you can't get there. I mean, you can have good relationships with her, but you can't be an insider in their group. It's because what you offer doesn't match their needs or their friendship rules, type of thing. So can we remember, when we are rejected, it's not necessarily about us, it's about the harmony. And I think there is something really, really beautiful about being rejected and finding peace with being rejected. If you find peace with being rejected, you may find peace with rejecting. And many of us have an issue with saying no. Many of us believe if we say no, we are rude. If we say no, we're doing something bad. If we say no, we are harming that person. And there is like that whole thing. It's like chicken and egg. So if you find peace with rejection, you find peace with saying no. If you find peace with being rejected, you find peace with rejecting. And if you find peace with saying no, with rejecting, you find peace with being rejected. But usually it's easier to find peace with being rejected first, and the bonus emerges because it's harder to be able to say like no. And once you find that peace, there is something beautiful about it. There's something beautiful about the way you say no. You stop finding excuses. You stop lying to people, and you stop making them feel as if it's about them. You just say, I don't want, or you just say, I'm not able. And this is a skill that you will need to use, because all of you are like bright young people, and you guys are a little bit older bright people, Göksel, Evren, and almost like we are entering our middle ages, I think. But you're all bright young people, and you will need that skill. People will ask you so many things because you are doing something right now at the moment to make the world a better place. So that's probably some part of your future too. And it's important to be able to say no to the things that are not important to you, so that you can say yes to all those things that mean to you, something that are meaningful for you, that you want to really put your energy on. Okay, so let's move on to Actually, let's move on to failure and finish with anxiety, because I think failure is much shorter. So we all fail too. That's like failure is the prerequisite of success. And there are many successful people around here, so I won't like go into the detail of this. But there are a few things that are very regular, like what to do in failure type of things. Those are ask yourself, is there an opportunity in this failure? And then is there a lesson in this failure? So anytime you fail, you're invited to ask those questions. But there is one more thing that I believe is really important, and I'm really proud of this slide. I think it's a really beautiful image. Can you see like my issues with getting validated around my slides?
Yes.
Can you recognize
Lovely.
that? Okay, so the thing is, when we fail, what happens is failure activates helplessness in our psyches. When we fail, we tend to feel helpless. And that's a state that we don't want to be in. So when you fail, the invitation is, and that comes from Guy Winch's book on emotional first aid. The invitation is make a decision that gives you a sense of control. So if you're fired, make the decision. Okay, in the next 4 weeks, I'll spend 10 hours weekly to seek a job. If your application fails, make a decision. Okay, I'll join a social project to make my next application a little bit more successful. Yeah, that type of thing. Just make the decision. The important and interesting thing around this is it's not that important if you follow your decision. If you end up doing what you have decided to do, is not as important as having that decision, because that decision enables you to get out of the helplessness mode. And that's like what we want. And once you're out of the helplessness mode, that decision or any other action or not action that you choose will come from a state of, wait, what do I need at the moment? And that's what we want. So that's the shame image. Let's finish with anxiety.
Can I add something about failure from the
Please.
designer perspectives because it's important for everyone at the DPCH. Um, for designers perspective about failure means is early success because we need to face failure before the creates meaningful solutions, because we need to redesign something to meaningful design something to disadvantaged people in this program, because at the beginning, I mention it every time in this program, at the beginning, our realities about some problems, some needs, just theories. We need to check, is that a problem for some people, for disadvantaged people, and we need to check, and we need to try to define our problems again and again, and redesign solutions to find the best solution, best meaningful solution for people who design for. And this is the very good mindset for designers. The failure is the early success.
That's so cool. I told you, among so many successful people, I don't want to talk about failure that much.
Very good, very good. Thank you so much. Every time, and you made our day as great, because we need to talking our talking more our emotions, our beliefs, and you made us so emotional right now. Thank you so much, dear Suzy.
Thank you. Thank
And
you.
thank you, Khadija Mohammed. Thank you too. You're welcome. I guess maybe you can share your question directly or type in the chat box about this session. After then, we continue to in this Zoom to our session.
Yeah.
Is there any question?
I will also talk about anxiety, by the way, Göksel.
Of course, please continue. Because these are people facing issues about their lessons at the university. So much anxiety, you know.
Okay, so should I do the anxiety piece and then maybe we do Q&A? Is that okay?
Yes.
Or
Okay. Please
okay,
continue. Here we go.
okay. So let's spend also a little bit of time with anxiety because we all experience anxiety and we are anxiety loaded times. I mean, there are so many people going through so many things right now with COVID-19 and with all the life that comes with that, you know, that goes on behind that, or I don't know, but there's a lot of anxiety. So let's see what I want to share about anxiety. The first thing that I want to share about anxiety is, and I just realized I haven't translated that into English, that sentence, but let's say anxiety starts at some point in time with a good intention. Each anxiety starts at some point in time with a good intention. If you are anxious about our health, the intention of the anxiety is take care of your health, remain healthy. If you're anxious about an exam, the intention of anxiety is study. If you're anxious about presentation, the intention of the anxiety is develop your presentation skills. If you're anxious about slides, the intention of the anxiety is either learn to create slides or find somebody to create slides for you, which I did the second one, and I'm proud of myself. Okay, so let's see what happens with anxiety. That's the first thing. The second thing is I was an anxious person and I'm still not like super unanxious, like I'm not super calm, but I've come a long way with that. But I think the way I thought about anxiety has shifted a lot in my studies in United States, where I studied expressive arts therapy and where I worked in a hospital in my last year with really, really ill people. And what I mean with really ill people is not with people who have really big mental health issues, but with people who were in intensive care units. And I would enter those units and I would walk there and I would talk with people, or who had cancer and who were like in the middle of their healing journeys in the beginning, or sometimes who couldn't heal and who were like facing that. So I spent a lot of time with those people, and the people who trained us, the first thing that they told us was these people have a problem that you can't solve, which is true. And I said, your job is to provide them a healing presence, to be with them as they are. And they will encounter a lot of anxiety. So you will sit with a lot of anxiety. And one of the things that you can say to them, we did a lot of guided imagery, is let's take a stance towards anxiety. Anxiety actually is a way of dreaming. I sit here today and I have a dream about a future event or about a future situation where I have no clue how it's going to work out or not work out. Like, I have no clue what's going to happen there. Like, exam, illness, presentation, whatever, confrontation, whatever. I don't know how it's going to work out. And I sit here and I have a dream about that, and I have a bad dream about that, and that's anxiety. And can I invite myself and others to sit here, have a dream about a future that I don't know what's going to happen, and have a positive dream? Can I recognize anxiety for what it is? It's a set of thoughts that we have about a future that we don't know what's going to happen. And can I choose to think positive? Can I make that choice actually? Because it's a lot about tolerating ambiguity, sitting with the unknown, and all those things. And we're not making that choice so that we create a future. That's the new age stuff that's happening a lot. Like, if you think positive, you'll have all those positive experiences. And I don't know about your countries, but I have seen like life coaches saying things like, okay, imagine $10,000 in your bank account. Like, imagine your bank account and write $10,000 there and it will come. And then I have seen like that person say, my dream is, I imagine in 10 years, I'll give this presentation and I'll have all my students' names behind who have all become so rich. Our aim is not that. Our aim is, I mean, it may happen. I think it is another dynamic. And I do believe in, by the way, I do believe in prayer. I do believe in wanting from your deep heart, and then some things come true. But I think it's like something more mystical, it's something more spiritual. And I don't think it's like, I want a lot of money, you know? I don't think that type of thing. But anyway, our intention is not to create that future. Our intention is to increase the qualities of our lives between now, where I sit, and then whatever we are anxious about is going to happen. Can we increase the quality of our lives within that time? That's our intention. That's the intention of the invitation. We never say, if you think positive, the positive thing will happen. Because many times, unfortunately, especially with ill people, many unprofessionals, I would say, like professional people who are really unprofessional and unethical, say that to people, and people end up thinking they have failed, although life just happened. Life happens. I believe in fate too. I mean, yes, we all work hard and prepare, and like success happens when hard work, preparation meets luck, and all those things. And you know, we can wish deep from our hearts, but that's something different from saying like, you can create your future, you know, like having that type of ego experience. So that's the second thing. I want to share one more thing about anxiety, and that is, the way we approach anxiety can be different. So the way we approach anxiety can be as something that's different from us. Um, what I mean by that is, there's a therapy approach. It's called narrative therapy, and their concept for that is externalization. Many times when we have a problem, we identify with that problem, meaning we say, I'm a very anxious person. Can we change our language? And that is similar to NLP, but what I'm talking about is much deeper and has a deeper theory around it. And I'm not against NLP. If it's used appropriately, it can be great. So it's not something against NLP, but what I'm talking about is, because the minute I start, somebody asks me, is this NLP? It's not, but it has similarities with it. So instead of saying I'm anxious, can we say I'm dealing with anxiety? Instead of saying I've been anxious for years now, can we say anxiety has been in my life for years? And when we ask ourselves those questions, and to people around us too, can we talk about anxiety as something that we deal with? So When did anxiety enter your life? Where do you feel it? Where in your body do you feel it? Does it have a shape? Does it have a color? Does it have a movement? What I mean by movement is, for example, when I was young, very young, in high school, I was really very, very anxious, and I was in a super achievement oriented high school. That was like quite an experience for somebody like me. So my anxiety had this shape where I felt something in my belly, and then there was a signal that would go up to my brain, and my brain would take that signal and would do something and would send it back to my belly. It would get bigger and my brain would get bigger, and it would be like something like this where I would live in that state for a very long time. Before exams, sometimes before encounters, sometimes before whatever. So, what is the movement of your anxiety? How does it operate? Is there a time when the anxiety is not successful, where it will just get you but could not? Those are unique outcomes, and we want to increase those unique outcomes and to create a dominant story of not anxiety or anxiety, less anxiety. So, when is the anxiety not successful? And then maybe asking, what's what's the deal? What's your intention, anxiety? What do you want to do to me? What do you want me to do? And listen to that message. Not necessarily share it immediately, because sometimes to hear it is like a little bit intense, but listen to it and say like, okay, so can we have a deal? Can I work harder for the exam, and can you calm down a little bit so that I can function? Because you're like screwing up, like your intention is good, but the way you end up is not very productive. Can we have a deal with it? So that's the invitation to change our relationships with anxiety. By the way, what I thought about externalization and anxiety, you can do with anything. You can do with, I mean, that's like what I do as a therapist. You can do with anger management. Can you see anger as something like that, something that you deal with, rather than I'm angry or I have like issues around it? Or inner critique. Can we say like, okay, I'm thinking this and I'm not my thoughts? And sometimes when we experience anxiety, we find ourselves like in thoughts ruminations. Rumination is, do you know what rumination means? Or what to ruminate means? What to ruminate means is to, I mean, what it means for our context is to keep thinking the same thing over and over. But what to ruminate means in the English language is what happens to the cow when he chews something. So the cow chews grass, chews, it goes down here and it comes up, comes down here and it comes up. This is what we do with our thoughts, or what happens to us with our thoughts. So when we ruminate, anxiety creates a lot of rumination. And what the invitation is when we ruminate, to detach from that rumination, to share it with people. Like if you start ruminating, to share it with people who can say like, I see that you're ruminating and I'm not sure if it's really helpful to talk you into it. Because sometimes when we talk, the rumination goes bigger and bigger because the people start like trying to help us, and with their help, we actually enter deeper and deeper into our ruminations. So sometimes it's not a good idea to talk. And the other thing is my favorite activity about rumination. I'll share that, and then we can finish with a meditation, or I can do all of that next time too. Do we have like 10 minutes, Göksal? Is that?
I think it's up to our participants. What do you think, guys? You need to do a little bit meditation before the session. Please use chat box.
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
This is the answer.
No need to ask.
Okay.
You
So,
already yes.
oh, thank you. Cool. So let me share the rumination thing because I love that experiential, and I did it in my own high school, and that was like amazing. And like I saw like this teacher of mine from 20 years ago, and he was looking at me, and he's like, "To what type of woman did you transform?" Anyway, so for rumination, actually, rumination is not being able to stop yourself from thinking something. And I can't stop thinking that I will finish. We'll pick one.
Yes, I pick meditation.
No. What I meant is like, tell me something that you can't, and you can write to chat too, that's fine. You can stop thinking that it might happen. Like, for example, I can't stop thinking that I may fail this class. I can't stop thinking that I may get sick. I can't stop thinking that I can't stop thinking about my boyfriend who left me. I can't stop thinking about my girlfriend who just had a nervous breakdown.
It shouldn't be a negative, right?
It should be a negative. That's like, because when we
Okay.
ruminate, that's like what happens.
Let me think.
I can't stop thinking about making an accident while driving. Great, thank you. So can I use that, Gabby?
Yes, of course.
Cool. So what we say is there, I can't stop thinking is the first stage. This is something that I'm thinking. So the next thing is I can't stop thinking about making an accident while driving. I'm aware I can't stop thinking about making an accident while driving. I'm aware that I can't stop thinking about making an accident while driving. I'm aware that I can't stop thinking about making an accident while driving. I'm aware that I can't stop thinking about making an accident while driving. I'm aware that I can't stop thinking about making an accident while driving. So what happens is I can't stop thinking is one distance. I'm aware that I can't stop thinking is another. I'm aware that I can't stop thinking is another. I'm aware that I'm aware is another. So we start distancing ourselves. And at some point, actually, it starts like, wait, what am I doing? And we get out of that rumination. It's the same. We can do something. We can give our attention to something for 3 minutes. That works the same way. This, what I did, sounds very stupid and very funny. But this is one of the few things that I assign my clients to do. And I teach them this technique and I say, please try it. And I say, it sounds as silly as it sounds and it feels as silly as it feels, but it works. And many times it just works. And that's so cool. So people come back and they're like, that's so stupid, but it works. So it's just like a tool. Let's move to.
Oh, thank you.
Did you like it?
Yes, I can't wait to drive.
Cool. Cool. Okay. Yes, you can do the same with that, Tekan. That sounds cool too. Okay. Manchester was beaten. Well, I think you can find peace with that at some point. Okay, so let's do the meditation. This time I want to teach you a meditation that's very helpful with anxiety. And for this, we'll keep our eyes open and we'll use our hands. The invitation is for you to put your hands in your this area, like around your breasts area. But I'll put my hands in my head area so that you can see what I do. But put your hands, please, on your breast there.
So before people putting their hands wherever they want to put, can I just have a quick comment,
Yes.
if possible? Can everyone open their camera? So I want to take it kind of like if possible.
Yes, sure.
Like
You're
I
so
want to take it kind of. I want to share this on Instagram. So
okay.
please, everyone, just for this meditation, okay?
Actually, you can do the video too with the hands. So
I see someone's face at the first time, guys. Wow.
What?
Wow. I see the first time some people's face.
Hey.
Wow, very good. Hi, Tekan. Hi, Enu. Hi.
Come on, guys. We can have more.
Hermesh. Hi. Yeah.
Okay, as you wish. Yeah.
That's cool. Let's continue.
Cool.
Okay, so if you feel moved to turn on your cameras during meditation, please do so. Okay, so imagine that you have a balloon or a ball. So that's the way you want to put your hands. And as you breathe in, open, and as you breathe out, close. Your breath doesn't have to be deep or short. Just follow your breath. You'll do it like for a minute or so. Let your hands match your breath. And see if your breath wants to change, a bit deeper or slower, or come from your mouth. There is no right way of doing it. And I want to invite you to do something else. You can continue following your breaths. That's one option. But the other option is you can intentionally take deeper breaths and open it more. And you can intentionally take smaller breaths and maybe one small breath and a deep breath. You can play with the length of the breaths at your own pace. Just don't take small breaths like too much. Maybe one small, one middle, one large. Namaste. Find a moment of close, and whenever you want, come back.
And some masters calls chi or ki, right? And
yeah.
This orb, feeling orb.
Yes, I mean, some people say they feel something between, but the intention here is not.
Sorry,
Go ahead.
Yeah, I felt the energy, like when you can feel the energy from that. It was, thank you so much.
Thank you. I mean, the intention is more around not the energy. I mean, it's beautiful if you feel it and if you like it. The intention here is more around, can I have something to follow? It gives a sense of control in times of anxiety. It gives kids and adolescents like an easier way to practice. So it's something that you can teach your younger ones too. And also, once you have followed your breath and you have like sync your hands with your breath. To gain the sense of control a little bit more, you can do it deeper and slower and smaller and all those things too. But the important thing is don't do like small breaths like one after another, because that's like that can create anxiety. We don't want that. But like maybe one small, one long, one small, one long. Yeah, that's all I want to share. Namaste. I'm happy to answer any questions or listen to any sharings.
First of all, let's make some noise for Suzy. Applause.
Oh, thank you.
You were amazing.
Thank you. Thank you.
Can you be our next guest too?
I can come whenever you want. I'm more than happy.
The day of DPCH.
Yeah, the honorary guest actually.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you so much. I guess we have one question from Zaid. Zaid, you can ask it directly if you want.
Yes.
And I shared the
Thank you,
song, by
Suzy.
the way.
Hello?
Hi, thank you a lot, Ms. Suzy. That was very enlightening, and it's much needed, especially at these times. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
I have a small question, and
Yes.
it could really help me, especially now. What is the best way to deal with procrastination and the numbness of time-wasting activities? Like, how can I get out of that cycle and be more productive?
Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
Sure. I also saw what you wrote about the slides. I thank you too. Okay, so in terms of the numbness that comes, doing something mindful is always great. So taking something in your hands and getting to know it with your four senses, the way we did last time. But in terms of procrastination, this is usually something that I teach on my time management workshops, time and attention management workshops. So about procrastination, what happens is usually one of the three things when we procrastinate. It is either we don't want to hear and know that we may hear, so writing to somebody and you may get rejected or so, or we believe we can't do something, or we are super overwhelmed with what's going on in our minds and we can't handle just entering to that space. So it's one of the three things usually. So if it's about the no, finding peace with it in your mind first and writing that email or asking for that is a good idea. If you believe you can't do something, which is a lot of times, especially when we prepare presentations, when we prepare classes, it's like we spend a lot of time having that mind shift about like, wait, at the end I will have to do that. And then there is a technique that's called Pomodoro, which is this technique where you spend 25 minutes, and you may start with 10 too, that's fine, or with 5 too, but like I suggest start with 10 at least. But it's like taking 25 minutes to do an activity, taking away all the distractions and taking just 25 minutes. And what that gives you is, wait, it's like so much to do, from wait, this is so much to do, to I can actually spend 25 minutes of doing that. And once you decide on the 25 minutes, it starts going on. The third thing, when your mind is too distracted, one of the things that you can do is, and this is like, for example, the way I do my to-do lists. Göksel, we are having a moment, it's like, watch and say how great it is. Like, for example, this is like the way I do my to-do lists, like a mind map. And this is kind of like having a visual of my mind and of all those things that I do. So like whatever is going on in your mind, you can just create like a circle and write everything in there and say like, okay, this is all in my mind, and now I'll take the 10 minutes. Or like just distancing yourself from that. And it's always good to do a 3-minute meditation or something like that. Does that answer your question?
Use it.
Yeah, I think so. I will try the exercise tomorrow, just 25 minutes to an hour maybe, and go start from there. Thank you.
Yeah, start. Don't go up to an hour, because the thing is, what Pomodoro wants you is to let you like to let you take a break before you are bored.
Yeah.
So you want to come like to a point where you really enjoy the work, take a break so that you want to go back to that work. That's like what they say.
Okay, yeah.
In Turkish, we have like a saying that's like the state of this, like ear thing. When we bake cookies, we say like, let the dough be the state of this, like ear thing, and that's like actually
Earlobe.
let your soul or your work motivation be the state of this, and take a break and go back to there so that you enjoy it. So that's kind of like the invitation of Pomodoro, not like working full hours or 2 hours or 3 hours where you feel depleted afterwards.
Another question from
That sounds beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Sefa. You can ask directly too, if you want.
Yes, thank you, Göksel.
You're
So
welcome.
I want actually to ask, please, just if you have any tips how to set our priorities in a day, like when we are putting our schedule.
Yes. Thank you. There is a guy, his name is Stephen Covey, and he has this matrix of Göksel, you are probably familiar with it. If you can find that, we could share the screen of that. I'll explain it, but I think you can find it like in 20 seconds if you don't mind. So what it says is, whatever you have to do, categorize them to do early, due soon, urgent, important, not urgent, not important,
Yeah.
urgent, not important, important, not urgent. So when you make a to-do list, categorizing those into them, and then starting with, of course, urgent and important. Could you find it, Göksel?
Yeah, we call Eisenhower matrix.
Yes.
You can search on the Google and you can find some graphics. Susie mentioned it.
Yeah, I thought maybe I could show it now if you have it.
Eisenhower matrix.
If you could just do that. Otherwise, I'll just find it. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to make you work. I feel bad.
No problem.
Okay. So starting with important and urgent, moving to important and not urgent. That's the mistake people make. That's one thing. And the other thing about prioritizing is, yes. Thank you so much. So what happens is we start with important and urgent, and we finish with not urgent and not important. But usually what we do is we go from important and urgent to not important and urgent. So after that, if we can go to not urgent and important, what will happen is this won't come to this cubicle, and we won't be like in the urgency mode all the time. So that's one thing. The other thing is, thank you, Göksel. I think we are done with it.
You're welcome.
The other thing is, there is a guy, his name is David Allen, and his book is Getting Things Done. He talks a lot about matching your energy level to your to-do list. So when you create a to-do list, write in your list what's the next action that you need to do. Like, for example, if you need to create slides, like, for example, for me, I always need to create slides these days. For me, what I write for my to-do list is not necessarily create slides, but what I write is find images in Pexels, which is a site for virtual images that I use in my slides. Find images in Pexels. So what that gives me is, when I have 15 minutes of free time and where I have the mental space of finding images, I can go and do that. But whereas if I would see in my list, create slides, I won't have that space like, okay, I will sit and I will create those slides. So can I match my energy level, time slot with my to-do list? So can I categorize my to-do list also based on, for example, is this something I can do on my phone? Is this something I have to do on my daytime? Is this something I can do in a plane? What David Allen had, like that category, because he flies a lot. He flew a lot. I'm sure he's sitting at home right now doing his own quarantine, but or is this something that I can do when I have, like, when I'm outside, you know, that type of thing. So can we categorize those two? And I recommend the book too. It has helped me a lot. Does that help?
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Yes, thank you so much.
And also I suggest a book in the chat box. And Enu mentioned a different kind of rule, 80-20. And it's a great tool too.
Oh, okay. I'll look into it too.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Guys, we need to continue. But I think we need to 5 minutes. Don't go anywhere. 5 minutes break before the session. If you're okay. You're welcome, Zaid. Susie, thank you so much.
Oh, thank you. That was beautiful.
For your great presentation, as every time.
Thank you.
Yes. Guys, we will continue in 5 minutes later. Don't go anywhere, okay?
Okay, I go? Can I go?
It's up to you.
No, can you stay, please?
I'll learn how to design too.
Listen, yeah. But you have to do homework. You know that.
Yes, I'm preparing classes all the time right now and giving homework to my students, and they're so upset about it. So it's like, I'm like, okay, I don't give you homework. I won't have to read it. So I decrease the amount of homework that I give, like, to even my students, but I'm happy to do your homeworks too. If you are going to teach me design, if you're going to make me a celebrity.
Thank you, guys. Yeah, we love you, Susie. Yeah, of course. We agree, totally agree.
Thank you.
Let's meet after 5 minutes later, guys. Okay? See you soon after 5 minutes.
Okay, namaste.
Namaste. Everyone here? We are the 51 people right now.
Yeah, we are here.
Yeah, hi Abu Bakr. And we continue with check-in activity before the instructions, and I will make it short. Don't worry. Let's talk about check-in activity with Alina.
Hello, everyone. How are you?
Did you miss Alina?
Yeah, did you miss me? Oh, good.
Yeah, we miss
Namesh.
her.
So today I am gonna be with you for the check-in activity time. For the check-in activity, I have really amazing questions for you. So you guys should open your cameras while activity time. After I ask questions to you, you will have 30 seconds and I will show the countdown to you from my camera. When the countdown ends, you should be ready to answer the questions. If it is all clear, we can start. So let's start. Our first questions.
Guys, don't forget.
Yes. And I want to see your all beautiful faces, please. Come on. So we can wait 1 more minute.
Let me check.
Yeah.
The other ones, are you alive?
Yes, can you hear me, please?
I can't see any people. Page 2, page 3.
Yes.
Yeah, we will mention. Chris,
should we wait for you?
Maybe we should
Please.
send some kind of drone to their windows.
Yes, exactly, we should. Or maybe they're designing their hairs for the camera so we can wait. So I saw some of you, maybe Abdullah. I saw you. So okay, the faces is coming. Faces are coming, sorry.
Yeah.
Should we start, dear Göksel?
Of course, yeah.
Okay. Guys, what is the most weirdest and interesting object in your room?
Oops.
Just pick up one. You have 30 seconds right now. Can you see my screen? And I pick mine too also.
But I have not any interesting thing in my room.
It could be weirdest or interesting or valuable as you wish.
The most weirdest thing is
5, 4, 3, 2. Okay. I want to see the weirdest thing in your room.
What is that, Narmesh?
It's torchlight. I don't know. Emergency light.
So,
Tekang.
T-Kang, I love this. I love this, by the way, T-Kang. Can everyone see T-Kang's camera right now?
One, yeah.
Okay, so I picked this one.
I see a Barbie.
Yeah, I saw a Barbie.
Oh my gosh, Ayla, can you explain what is it? Yeah.
Yes. Okay, I can start actually, and then you can think about it. The second questions. Why do you think it's weird or interesting? So I can start right now. Maybe you know this, and I hope you can know this. You all know this. It's like a little stuff that you can fill it with the water, and then you are using like this. And when I was a child, I was doing it every time. Like, did you see my little ring, knee ring? And then I was like pushing here to water. It was coming the water their faces, and I still use it.
Just heard.
I'm sorry, Abu Bakar. I saw it's a banana. Can you please explain
yes,
us?
it is banana.
Why do you think it's weird or interesting?
Because it gives us energy. It gives me energy.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's great.
Even,
so anyone else?
He holding like a gun.
yeah. I saw it like this. I like this. So anyone else, you can raise your hands or you can just open your microphones and talk.
Rayan shows something, but I don't determine.
Yeah, it sounds weird for you maybe, guys. It is a box of pens because I like writing notes when it comes to online courses, workshops, webinars. I like to write areas of everything related to the things that interest me. That's why I use all the pens. I don't like, for example, if instead I write.
Yeah, I'd like to see your handwriting. I guess it's cool, right?
I guess so. So anyone else wants to show the weirdest or interesting thing?
This is my name is Muhammad. This is a
yeah.
Quran pictured in Arabic. It says like, God, please forgive me and my parents. So it's very interesting for me.
So
like
it's actually, in addition, vulnerable for you, right? Like so valuable.
Yeah, it is.
That's
it's
great.
in Arabic, so I don't have to translate it. Hat in Turkey.
Yeah,
we call it hat.
This kind of arts.
Yeah, it's like from the Ottoman Empire. I went to Turkey, so I know that calligraphy on the mosques there, Jamia and everything.
Yeah. We have so much this like arts in our country.
Actually, Safa, I am seeing something in your hands.
Yeah. What is that?
Yeah. Actually, this is a musical instrument, a Moroccan musical instrument.
Wow.
Can you play for us?
Can you try?
No. Because actually, the weird thing is the smallest version. It's big, but I had it as a gift. We have here.
It's a little prototype.
Yeah, yeah. Actually, it's for kids, and I had it as a gift here, like from my uncle. So it's like we have here, like actually, it's how can I say it? We celebrate day here where we give like small like kids and everyone like the little members of the family some interesting instruments, and like this was my gift. And this was the little version of this instrument.
This is great. Yeah, I got it right now.
Yeah, Nermesh eliminating us.
Yes, Narmesh is so excited.
So basically, I use this so-called emergency light to witness any cockroaches in my bedroom.
That's a great idea.
I guess so.
Wow, cool guys.
Actually,
So here
TK has yeah, Fatima, sorry.
Yeah, it's okay. So here I have a small mirror, and what is interesting about it, it has on the cover all the symbols of Morocco, like Hassan, the symbols, a small. I don't know if you see it or not.
Yeah, it's so clear. Yeah, wow, great. Yeah, I love so much this icons thing. Illustration.
Yeah, me too, actually.
Also, I make them.
Yeah.
Right.
So
And I see
Ma-
Muhammad. Yeah, Muhammad.
Muhammad, yeah.
Yeah, actually, it is weird. It is something I don't know his name in English really, but in French we call it éventail.
Mm,
Can you
We use
spell
it.
it again?
yeah, Iwantal.
Éventail. It is in French.
Ewanta. I hope I'm
Éventail.
right.
A hand phone.
You know what? We
So
have it
we
here
use it.
in my country.
We
Actually, we
use
have
it.
it here, and we called him Hajjaja here in chat. So,
Hajaja.
Hajja, yes.
Even in
I'm
Somalia,
Even
also
when
we
the
from
have
weather
Chad.
is very
we
hot.
calling it
Wait me.
We use it when we use it
I think
when it's hot.
we should talk them in smile check after the session, guys. What do you think about it?
Of course.
Great.
Actually, I think there is also the Chinese version of the thing that Mohammed show us.
Yeah, yes, dragons on it. Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Even in Somalia, we call it puppies.
Muhammad, look at this one. It's similar to yours, so we call it Hajjaja here in chat.
Wow, cool.
Yeah, don't sister. I'm also from Chad. I know it.
Really? You are from
Yeah.
Great. Oh my God.
Even in Somalia, we call it puppies.
Wow. Is that foldable, Khadija? Is that foldable?
What do you say? Yes.
Yeah.
Cool, cool.
When the weather is hot.
Cool. But
Yeah.
Muhammad, yours is not foldable, I guess. It's a Sobi.
No, it's just the camera.
It's for full of body.
No.
It's like when Muhammad is sitting in the chair, the slaves are doing this for him.
I imagined like this scene, yeah.
Yes. So
Thank you.
Tiken, can you please show us also?
Yeah, TK. It's an egg box. Right?
Yeah, it's an egg chef. Actually, I'm in the kitchen, and when you asked the question, the first thing that came to my mind was this. You know, with this eggshell, we have 24 eggs, and just imagine each morning you have to pick two to either to boil or to fry. You know, it gives you energy for the day and some proteins, and you are kind of fit to take on the courses like what we are doing now with the energy. So after probably a full day or probably around 9 p.m., that's when I get exhausted after having a boiled egg too, or a fried egg with a bit of potatoes and some bread and a bit of tea. And just looking at the structure, I was like, who designed this for eggs and how did it come about? So that's why I had to probably show you guys this special stuff. And I'm in the kitchen, by the way, and I love cooking and I like eating good food.
Great
It's
explanation.
great approach.
They kind of already.
Professional. Yeah, I believe it.
Yeah.
So also it's valuable for him. I got it right now. So guys, please don't forget to share these objects on Smile Check, please. So anyone else or we can start your yourself.
Of course.
So you shared your screen.
Can you see my screen? Instruction to those synthesize subways or like that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, let's continue, guys. And thank you, check-in activity. Thank you to dear Alina. And
You're welcome.
Check out activity, by the way.
Yes, wait for it, guys.
I guess you missed talking a little philosophy, everyone. Unlike DPC and Design Post-COVID Normal program, in this program, you know, I will try to convey deep topics to you in a simple way from time to time, and I am sure that these topics will also strengthen your spirit and give you more holistic view of life, about life or about love or about friendship or something like that. Today, I want to start a specific question for everyone, as you can see on my screen. And how many times, sorry, my guys. Oops. Let's continue. Can you see my screen? Or let me share again. Let me share again. Yes. And start. Okay. Can you see? Oops. Is that okay, Buse, right now?
Yes, now it works. Good.
Yeah, but I can't see my screen right now. Let me share again. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Everyone see the question right now?
Yes.
Okay. My question is about today, guys. How many times is an individual born? And you can share your thoughts in the chat box. And I cannot see the chat box. And please, guys, dear from SOGLab, and share the thoughts about this question and share the answers about this question.
Unlimited.
Yes. And what do you think? How many times is an individual, is a people born? What do you think about that?
You want us to type it or say it?
Sorry?
Should we type it or do you want us to share it?
It's up to you. You can share directly or typing in the chat box.
I believe, and I'm such a huge advocate of this, I believe that it's infinite. I feel like we can, because of evolution, we constantly evolve. Every time we educate ourselves, we're gaining something new that can change our previous identity completely. So we're constantly going to the next level. And I feel like as we progress as human beings and as we progress through the experiences of life, we become a new version of ourselves to manage that level of experience. And then you enhance yourself and you get to the next level and you're reborn again. So I feel, and it's so powerful as well. Rebirth is so powerful and it becomes more powerful each time. So yeah, I love it.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. It's true. Tekang, say?
3 times.
3 times. Wow. Why, Tekang?
I'm wondering.
The first time is when your mother brings you into the world.
Okay.
The second time is when you actually meet your optimum goal.
Yeah.
And
last one is?
The last one is when you're able to help others to grow. Yes.
Cool. Let me explain why I am asking such a this like big question for individuals' life. And yes, you are true. We all first time to this life through our mother, and from the moment we begin to breathe, we begin to experience to physical world with such as human qualities that our creator has prepared for us. We are coming from totally completed, and we all have the right to make our own decisions, you know, and from birth we all come to life with human values such as love, tolerance, and empathy, even Hitler. and we all try to understand the life around us with our 5 sense organs, having mental, social, and emotional intelligence. And second birth begins when school life begins, actually, because for the first time, we start to receive information from an institution other than the information we receive from our family about life. But strange thing is, guys, we don't yet have have our own unique views about life and ideas. Most things we know correctly are actually secondhand from our friends, from especially our families. At some point in our life, we start to notice this situation, because as a result of our learning information, we start to encounter unwanted results. But if we continue to live with not our own and learned reactions to every situation that happens to us, we will eventually complete life as people who have lived an ordinary life. Ordinary life, like as a person who has not done our best. But if we try to slow down in a time, think about what is happening and make sense of it, we will begin to regain the innate freedom of choice that we have ignored. And life suddenly begins to transform into a reality that we envision it from a reality we learn about. And thus, the last birth takes place. It is also a birth to ourselves. And virtuous people often stop and try to make sense of life. They observe everything, the surrounding reality, and then they synthesize the information they get from it's every point of life, and form their own philosophy of life. And that's the answer of this big question. And you are the right, Tekan. It's answered 3 times. And I hope all of you start your self-birth journey as soon as possible after this DPCH or during this DPCH. And this is some little philosophical thing from me before the starting. And I hope you like it. And I hope you would like to share this story to your families and to your friends, because so important, I guess. Let's recall where we are right now in the design post-COVID humanity, in the human-centered design process, guys. We are finally today completing the inspiration phase, and you have been working on the most important stage of human-centered design for almost a month. First of all, I congratulate all of you, everyone, and every team who completed their work without any delay. Thank you so much, your cooperation and your good work. Be sure the other stages will be less intense, but more fun, especially Word Cafe, than inspiration. And I'm also very excited about this. Today, we will talk about the synthesize sub-stage, sub-phase. After I share the theoretical part with you, and after that, Beliz will show you what to do on your mirror. Okay, let's continue. Let me show, and we will remind all of process. In the first week, each team made visible the team capacity to turn their SDG challenge from the poster into an ultimate goal. Okay, so we divided the challenge struggle that seemed huge into a small piece that we can start working on. Okay, after then, immediately after, you try to determine who belonged to the struggle, who belonged to the challenge you were working on, is the one. Okay, the second, you have defined a target group using lenses, using demographic lenses, using behavioral lenses, or something like that. After then, finally, if you have completed the tasks last week, you have discovered their deepest needs by filling empathy map with this target group. Okay. As I mentioned at the beginning of human-centered design process, guys, the most important purpose of the inspiration phase is a 2 things. One of them is the discover phase, means I know something about the problems or needs I have discovered. The second one, the empathize phase, subphase, is I wonder if what we see as this problem is really somebody's problem. During inspiration, we actually consulted people to check whether the theories in our minds were real, and which people did we consult, did we empathize, and people who have had the problem or are affected by the consequences of the problem. And if you have completed the process by empathizing with others, leaving your personal opinions, personal perspectives behind, you have succeeded. Let's see how we can complete the inspiration phase with the synthesize, okay? If we do not approach the problems we face like a designer, if we do not involve other people in the design process, or if we do not need other people's opinions, thoughts, especially when talking about the new normal after the COVID-19, and we will see every time the water pipe burst unexpectedly, guys. We try to get inspiration from other people early in the design process in human-centered design. As we saw that continuum with traditional way doesn't work. Okay, we discovered that. For this reason, we spent a large period of 1 month, all month, just to focus on what is the deepest need of my target group. Okay, because I know that we all dream of a different new normal, that people's daily life becomes more easier and they enjoy life. As you can see in the picture on my screen on the left, and you have created a lot of options, lot of choices to work with your team up to the discovery sub phase. And these options originated from your personal views and observations up to the second sub stage we call empathize. And when the empathize phase is over at the last week, we need to draw, we need to find meaningful conclusions from the stack of information from the big data we produce and create a solid starting point for the ideation phase. Okay, and we do this for the following design challenges that we shared with you, and also you choose as a team indicated the negative consequences after COVID-19. They were the visible parts of the iceberg, but by diving deep, you discovered insights into your target audience, and you are the beginning to understand what is the invisible part of the iceberg, what is the under the sea, under the iceberg. So we need to update our design challenge we are working on, right? Because we have learned something new, and we must continue with what we have learned from our target groups. A design question, I'm gonna talking about a new concept in the human-centered design process we call design question. Is a summary of all your learning at the empathy stage in the human-centered design process. When your team or anyone outside of the program, outside of the human-centered design process, looks at this question, they can now clearly start thinking about solution, thinking about how can we do this, how can create something like that to achieve these global goals in our local area. There are some features of a correct design questions, and please be focused of this concept. First of all, a design question, guys, always contains 3 special words. And as you can see, one of them is a how, and second thing is a might word, and last word is a we. All these words inspire you to keep thinking and acting like a designer. Okay. On the other hand, and we need to add what we have learned to remaining empty areas between how might we words in our design question. in the design question, you should include your target group, okay? You should include your ultimate goal you discovered in your discovered substage. And the specific location of the problem, if any you have, and finally, you should include your deepest need you discovered in empathy map, okay? Let's go through an example to be more clear, okay? This is my example. My ultimate goal is, you defined in the discovery substage, I mentioned it, corresponds to the what part, okay? My example is, our ultimate goal is to bring teachers together with important information that can make them more confident during live lessons, okay? Zoom lessons or something like that. My second example, target group, which I defined in the empathize substage, corresponds to the warm part. And my example is, my target group is men over the age of 40 and teachers without the ability or curiosity to use digital tools effectively, okay? And some of the teams specially describe the location where the problem occurred, okay? This can be a country, or this can be a specific type of space, school, home, or something like that. My example is, the need often arises when teachers start live lessons at home, okay? At home with their neighborhoods, with their family members, with their kids, okay? And the empathize substage, you finally discover the deep needs of your target group with empathy map. Here, these needs correspond to the why part, okay? My example is, teachers, men, 40 years old men, teachers, actually want to learn new tools, but they just don't know which tool and method is effective. And you know what reason is, the YouTube or the Google, the full of this kind of examples, but they need to know which tool and method is effective, okay? So how can I combine all of this information, all of learnings from our substages into one question as expected of me, like how might we? Here's an example. This is the example. Let me read. And how might we make male teachers over the age of 40? This is the one part, okay? Make them more confident. This is the what part or why part, okay? During live lessons at home, this is the where part. Bringing them together with the right tools and methods. This is the very ultimate goal part. Okay, is that clear? This is the very good how might we question, we call design question, including my all learnings from early stages of human-centered design. I guess you can try to make some of human-centered design question, how might we design question, and can you determine a design question by looking at the example here? And would you write your design question on the chat box? Please look at the all information, all learnings in my screen, and can you try to type design a cool, a specific how might we question? And let me check the chat box when you thinking or designing. Yeah, I said we are struggling with specific age group, and I will share something about that after the this session, end of this session. And please try to create how might we question, okay? If you need that, I can show again my mine question. This is the my question, my example, okay? And this is the example for you. We went addresses. I will back.
Yeah. Sorry. Actually, yeah. Khadija raised her hand.
So please, Khadija. You can speak directly.
No, sorry, it's by mistake. Sorry.
No problem. Please try, guys. Try to make it shouldn't be a very good question. Please be cool, be comfortable. Just try. Or maybe SOGLab team, you can create. Zaid said, how might we involve students in the process of sustaining life on the earth and preserving nature? And let us check with Belis together, maybe. And what is the one part? What is the target group? Students. But look at my example.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not students. It's a poor woman age between 25 and 30.
Yeah, let's focus on the example right here.
Yeah. Use these learnings because you need to use your learnings when you create your design question. Okay? Just try again. Dear Zaid. Yeah. How might we, Nisa said, establish an early childhood mother support system for poor women age babies under? Wow, cool, great. This is what I'm expected. Great. And Nermesh said, how might we make poor mothers? Oh, very good, very good. This is more than specific, economically and uninformed. Nermesh put it in the question. Cool. This is it, guys. Okay. This is what I expected. Let's continue.
Can I just say one thing here?
Yeah.
When we check the examples of Nisa and Nermesh, we also can see that these questions can be in different forms. So they can be reflected in different terms. So you don't have to focus on something. You don't have to look at through one perspective. You can actually develop different alternatives for how might be questions. So it's possible to use the same ingredients but come up with different how might be questions. That's an example of that.
Yeah. We mean there is no a totally best question we have. Okay, there is no this kind of question. Okay, this is another example. Please, another people, and I will ask you to write your sentences in the chat box. And Abu Bakar said, how might help mothers age rural areas to get access? Very good, very good. This is the simple one. The other than. Let's continue with this question, these learnings. Our target group is 65 age of over the age of 65 men who had the work during quarantine. Especially we have these people in Turkey, and they need to be in their homes because it's quarantine rules from our governments. Let's think about it and make the questions about these learnings. Okay, is anyone? I guess they have been trying to invert, and after then they copied the past the chat box. Yeah, Ayan said, how can men over the age of make their basic needs and socialize in Italy to generate economic value at home during quarantine? Great. Yeah, last Nisa, yes, cool. How might we teach middle-aged men who have to work during quarantine in Italy to generate economic income while socializing? Great. It's the simple one. Is that clear, guys? This is not rocket science, right? And Abdullah said, how might we create a system for university students age? Cool. This is most specific target group I see to enable the planting of trees on a large scale in their countries to positive Wow, this is your project, Abdullah?
Yes, it is.
Cool, cool, very good, very good. Yeah. If I see this type of question, I can generate lots of solution ideas because it's a very specific. It's a very clear for everyone. Great, wonderful. Thank you, Nisa. Okay, let's continue to the finalize. The last thing I have to say, the thing as follows. Design question, guys, shouldn't be too big for you, okay? It should be suitable for your team capacity and your capacity also, okay? But it shouldn't be too small either. If you want to struggle and improve yourself, improve your team, you have to define a design question that will force you a little bit, okay? If it's too general also, you might miss the main point, okay? Therefore, you can overcome this part by including all what you have learned in this question with whom, where, what, and why, okay? Is there any question? Or we can continue with Beris.
Actually, I have a question.
Yeah.
So in the section where we have to specify the location,
yeah.
I saw you put Italy and Bangladesh before. Until now, we don't know where we might end up doing such a project. Can we put more than one tentative location? So could it be, for example, Turkey, Jordan, Malaysia?
What do you think, Belis?
I mean, like it could be any of these countries, depending on who adopts us first or more.
I think when we are working on this like project and we searching for the inside of the reports and we need to find and which target group is the most affected by the results of problem or in this program is a COVID-19 resource. Okay, maybe you need to search this kind of vehicle extremes in the lenses because these people is more than affected by anyone else, okay? The results. And you can search and you can find these people and after then maybe you can make another Zoom call or mailing, something like that to getting insight to understand their deepest needs.
Can I add something to that?
Of course.
So basically, Khalid and I are teammates, and our teammates are kind of scattered around the world. The thing that you just mentioned, that is something that we've been struggling with because the impact of global warming is not area specific. And we can't pin it down to a specific place saying that that place is getting affected most. It might be the Arctic Circle, but that is not a place where we as students can focus on. So hence, it is something which we might start in a locality, but if the system is accepted and it proves to be effective, we would want universities around the world to adopt it. So hence, how do we define our target area?
What was your SDG challenge at the beginning from the poster you choose?
Life on land.
Life
Number
on
15.
And you can share the sentences of your SDG challenge, or I can find or Belis.
We're team 24. The question that I just posed was me regarding the challenge, like how might we create a system for university students aged 18 to 25 to enable the planting of trees on a large scale in their countries to positively impact the environment or slow down or halt global warming.
Just imagine that a poor people, for example, a poor people at age of 70, facing a different situation, results of the climate change, right? And other than the kids facing another perspective made from the results of climate change. And this is about the localize the SDG challenge. And please remember the chair and the chair's leg. Okay, the climate changes, of course, I totally agree with you, is a affected by everyone. Okay, but we need to localize to start. We need to define a start point, and this is actually it's a little bit up to you. And maybe you can find someone who is affected more in your local area, or maybe I mentioned it. You want to work with some people target group, but in the mention it in the reports from UN or from something from Qatar Foundation or something like that. This is a little bit up to you, right, Belis? What do you think?
Yeah, I definitely agree with yourself. I was thinking something like, I know that you all want to create something big and you want to touch all the areas regarding the problem. But to be able to do that, you have to start small and you have to start specific so that you can actually grow to a bigger impact. Okay, so in order to do that, you have to start small. And one of the ways to do that is to actually empathize with the people that you know most, or the people that you know better, so that you can actually understand their needs. Okay, so if we say that you have 3 countries that you want to focus on, and there are the target groups that you want to work with, you may actually focus on one that you can interview with. You have access to the target group, that the area, and etc. Okay, so it should be accessible to you as well, so that you can work on. Yeah, Khaled?
Just see the all people who are affected by the results, and after then and choose one of them and who affected the more than others. Okay. Yes.
Yeah, just a follow-up. You see, the reason why we're working with students is because on the long run, they're going to be affected most. It's not the grandfather that's at the age of 80 or 90. The person that's at the age of 18 to 23 are the people that are gonna, really feel the repercussions of something like global warming. And that's why we chose students as our target. But back to the question of where, the reason why we sought more than one country is because, as Abdullah said, I'm in a place, Abdullah's in a place, we have people in the Balkans, so we're all scattered out. So the issue of accessibility could be kind of spread out as well. But this is where the beauty of this program to us is because it's with a university in Doha, for example. So if, like, one of the ideas that we had is, why don't we put Doha as the place, or Qatar as the country that we are going to target, and the connections are already established with the university that's there, which is Hamad bin Khalifa. Does that work?
Actually, I'd like to add something before the bellies. Designers say, how can I say, and different people have different behaviors when facing the situation or problem. Okay, if we add our target group to all people or all community, and we cannot find any insight when deepest need, or when they facing in the situation. Okay, we need to define or pick some of them. Which person, I mentioned it again and again, which person most affected by the results, or something like that. Okay, this is a little bit up to you, really. But if you stay in the Qatar, or you discovered something about this challenge in Qatar, yes, you have to add this target group, because this is your perspective, this is your observation. It's cool thing is human-centered design, starting from the point of your view, or point of your observations. It's a cool thing. And this is the reason why we start why we start with human, why we start with your perspectives. It is key of the localize of the SDGs. Okay, I think it's a little bit clear. Or please, Khaled and Abdullah, or maybe Beliz, we cannot this gentleman's group to put some questions or feedbacks, please, guys.
Sure.
Don't worry. Another question. Ayan said, yeah.
So we've just spoken about the target location, and I think that really, thank you both to Khalid and Abdullah for bringing that up, because it's kind of answered some questions that we had. But our main issue with us is not even the location, is the target group that we have, because in terms of age range, we're looking at gender violence and domestic violence post-pandemic, and the people that are affected. And this is what we discovered through the initial stages. It's both children and women who are victims of it. But we also think we also need to address the men that are causing the abuse as well for our post-COVID design, so we can have a holistic approach. And the age range is going to be huge, because you're going from children to women to adults.
Yeah.
So are we supposed to just pick one target group? But then that will be a bit in vain, because they all are needed to deal with this issue.
Yeah, if I were you, I will check to, for example, UN's reports. What's the specific target group most affected by this?
Oh, that's what I'm saying. That's what's driving us a bit. Like all the reports and all the data and all the research we've been doing for the past month, it's a huge target group. And the grassroots organizations are looking at children that are in domestic violence from young ages, and it's looking at the women. So all the data is pointing at everyone.
Yeah.
After all this situation, in this when we face like this in the Soul Lab, we thinking like that, and which targets group is more than nearest of us, okay, and which target group can we empathize is very basic way, okay.
Yeah.
For example, in the SOG lab, we are working with the students age of between 10 and 30, adolescents, young people or kids, something like that, because we know what their needs. We know what their deepest needs after the working of 10 plus years in the field. And I believe that some of the target group is very very specific one your perspective, because you know what's the deepest needs in your daily life, okay.
So for example, I'm guessing women, so because the team is consists of women, and we do know of people that have experienced this, so we just rate it to ourselves, basically what we can empathize with, specifically us as the team members.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just want to add something about the importance of the target group. Yes, you're right, Ayan. Both children and women and men are affected by the gender violence. That's correct. But if you want to target all three, then you need to empathize with all three. So you have to focus on the problems, the behaviors, the demographics of children, then women, then men. Then you need to formulate the case for each of them. So it's going to be huge for you, even for 6 months. So you need to specify a target group that, as Göksel said, that you can empathize with, and the target group should be accessible to you so that you can actually gather information from them and work with them. So this is why you need to specify a target group. And I know that you all want to work with all of these because you think they are all affected by the problem. But by saying that you need to specify the ones that are most affected by the problem and the ones that you can empathize with, what we mean is this, okay? You need to come up with a target group so that it will ease your job and you will bring more effective solutions by coming up with more effective problems as well. Is it more clear?
Maybe we have to say this, Beliz. As designers, we make a solution ideas for one specific target group, and and evolution, we make prototypes about that, and after then we design social business model, and after then when we find a solution, a sustainable one, we scale, we copy the another target group. Okay, but at the beginning, just we need to start one of them or pick of them. Okay, this is basic.
Yeah, I think.
Don't worry about it.
This is very similar to doing a research actually. While I'm searching for something, I need to focus on one problem. Then I need to evaluate all the aspects, and I can offer one solution regarding the problem because I cannot cover all the aspects of the problem. So you need to specify so that you can actually bring an effective solution to the problem. And Tony has raised his hand. Yeah, Tony, go ahead.
Thank you so much, guys. Your questions, and I think it's more clear. And Ayan, good to see your words. It's clarified. It's good to see.
I have a demand, please.
Okay. Yes, Tony.
I don't want to take more time from you, but we asked a question 2 days ago on Slack, but no one responded. So please, if someone can answer us, please, soon.
Yeah, we will check after
Would
the
be great.
session. Okay, definitely. Thanks for letting us.
Actually, what's your team number, Tony?
Team 54.
54. Okay. Your facilitator is
53. 53.
53. Your facilitator is Walid, Sofia, and Butane.
Yeah.
Can you mention in your team channel?
Yes, I mentioned.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Ladies, let's go with you. And can you show us how can do this on Miro? And you can show your screen. And it could be more clear for everyone, I guess.
Okay, let's go to the mural, everyone. So this is like a template for mural. So this is why these spaces are empty. When you zoom in, you will see the dimensions that Göksel mentioned. These 4 dimensions should be included in your how might we question. But before that, let's go over why how might we question matter once more. So far what we have done was like a theoretical ground. So think of how might we question as something that is a transition to more solution-oriented phases, which is ideation. Okay, so how might we is a design question that will help you think about the ideas regarding the problem that you had so far by reframing the problem and combining the information that you gathered from your target group. So how might we question should be specific enough so that you can think about the ideas, the answers in the back of your head while you're preparing those questions, okay? And I just need to mention this. It shouldn't be too narrow or too broad. So do not think of something like how might we design something for teachers all around the world for their online classes. That wouldn't work because you don't know the target group, you don't know their deepest needs, so you cannot generate solutions, you cannot think of ideas based on such questions. So it should be possible to first generate ideas and answers, and it should be possible to bring it into life. This is where you should consider your resources and capacities as a team as well. So you need to start thinking about, okay, I will develop this question, then this will be used to generate ideas. So the question should be something that I want to do and I can do, okay? So that shouldn't be something off topic, basically, or too general. So let's focus on the dimension once more. What refers to the ultimate goal that you mentioned in your discover phase? So when we go here in the discover phase, you will see your ultimate goal at the bottom, okay? So you will copy that and you will paste it right here. So what refers to your ultimate goal?
You can see all of them in the one area.
Yeah. for whom it refers to your target group, which is right here in the explain column, okay? So far you have defined your target group, for whom and with whom you want to work with. So you will copy this and paste it in the whom column. Then if you have a specific location in mind, you will write it down in the where column. But if you don't yet, do not worry that much. And why refers to the deepest needs of your target group, meaning the insights in the empathy map. So by working or thinking about your target group, you have specified their thoughts, their behaviors, what they do, what they feel, and then you came up with the deepest needs, okay? What they need the most, which is insight in the pink post-it. You will take it and paste it in the why section. Then by combining all these four, you will generate how might we questions. But please generate more than one at the beginning, because it will help you. Yeah, it will help you to see the picture even a broader perspective. You may actually find underlying problems. You may come up with more than one solution. So this is helpful for you. You need to generate more than one question, then choose a final design question that is possible to do and possible to generate ideas as well.
And don't forget to add last area, the red one.
Yeah, then please write it down in the pink area. Okay.
Is that a question?
Yeah, is it clear?
Is it clear? Seeing on the mural, what's progress?
Yeah, I think it's better because some of you had difficulties using mural and adapting on mural. So I think this is a nicer way to see where will you work, where you will work. Yeah.
We were playing with lots of post-its before the COVID-19, but until when we met the mural, I hope you like it. Quite clear, Abdullah. Thank you so much.
Okay.
I think it's wonderful design. Kudos the team. Yup. Well done, Soul Lab team. Well done, everyone. Well done, all partners and participants, all facilitators of this program. And actually, it is more than complex, this process. But this is the simple one, simple experience for you. Okay.
Okay, I think it's all clear. Göksel, I will stop sharing.
Okay.
And the floor is again yours, I believe.
Actually, the floor is again to yeah.
Mine.
Then we will give the instructions at the end. Is that true?
Yes.
Okay.
Actually, I can share to-dos before the checkout activity. First, once again, guys, one, collect all learnings in the synthesize area in your mural. Two, make over more than one specific design question. If you create more than one, you can pick some of them, okay? And after then, three, choose one from them with your teammates until 3 December, until before your feedback session, mural feedback session, okay? Let's back to Alina.
Me.
Yeah.
Hi again.
Can you share my screen?
I think yes, you can right now. No?
I'm not seeing if you share. Sorry, that's why I said no.
Let's try again.
In the same time, I can ask our participants that they are ready for the checkout activity.
Is that clear?
Yes.
Okay. Guys, before the starting with Alina, please go to menti.com and type 170482 and 0.
As you wish, I can write here that you can copy it,
Yeah.
dear participants.
Oops.
It went.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Sorry. I can share again. Ah, this is my. Okay.
I'm sorry, I sent directly.
Ah, no problem. No problem. Yeah. I can understand. I can understand. Wait a minute, guys. Wait a minute. Ta-dam. Okay. Please go to menti.com and use the code as you've seen.
In the chat box, you can see our copy.
Thank you so much, dear Anna.
And I also left the menti.com. You can just click it from them there.
Today we was talking about peace, and this is the question for today. What's the smallest behavior that makes your heart full of peace? Rating. Being with my wife.
Meditation. Breathing.
In our country, elderly say the family first, right, guys?
Empowering and greeting others. Being around loved ones.
Wow, volunteer work.
Meditation. Actually, after our session, it came.
I guess watching football is Tikang, right?
I guess so. He loves eggs, by the way. Volunteer work. That's great.
Failing over and again until I succeed. Wow, it's a, yeah, I choose this. Yeah. Making someone.
Being with my friends. Making someone smile. I love this answer.
And also this activity is for reflecting our emotions, because according to UN reports and World Economic Forum reports, is the most important skill is the social emotional skills for the 20th century, and also after the COVID-19. It's so important talking about our emotions, guys. And thank you so much, your great cooperation, helping each other, sleeping. I agree, sleeping, yeah. I am a night person also. Making someone watching phone. And the person next to you said, "Thank you for helping me." Yeah, great.
Sleeping.
It makes people so valuable.
Being under my blanket in this cold weather. By the way, I love this answer too. With a coffee, right? Giving someone a chance.
Ooh.
I like it.
Yes, 19 people joined. These guys. Yeah, where is the last 30 guys? Buse said in Turkish.
Trying to do something I love. Yes, we heard it.
Oh, wow. Cool. Yeah, we are so hungry right now. Also.
Hiba is so cute. She said, "I wish I can reply twice." I love it. Eating food right from the oven. Is that Tikang also?
And we have a second question, right, Anya?
Yes, we have second.
Let's continue.
Question.
If you want, everyone.
Yes, we can continue. What
Wow. That's a
yes,
inspiration phase.
yes, let's see. What impressed you the most during the inspiration phase? What did you learn new?
Let's we see. Remember the all early stages of human-centered design, especially first phase of human-centered design inspiration.
Actually, you can write that what you were thinking about it, and then now what you impressed from that. I learned how far I was from a human-centric design.
I said that when I learned the first time human-centered design.
Yes, me too.
Don't worry.
Empathy map makes me to be felt in their shoes, even though we are locked in our homes. That's great.
Exactly.
I like this approach.
Yeah.
I agree with you, really. I'm so excited about your answers, guys, please.
I guess they thinking about that. And checking your memories.
Yes.
In the past. For example, from us, and DPCN participants know that we evaluated our how might we design questions instructions after the one beautiful program, as we call it, also it's normal. But
collaboration in diversity.
Wow, great. It's kind of slogan, right? It's kind of movement.
Yes.
Working with community and finding the grassroots level problems. Cool. The thing I learned was how to work for my community in these hard times.
These hard times.
This passion, full of passion, these words. Put yourself in their shoes so feel like them. Well, I learned it that human's mind tends to think that they know what solution to apply specific problem. However, if we just pay a bit of attention, yes, to the human with the problem, we can find not just a better solution, but the right one. Wow. The most optimistic one.
Yes, I guess so.
You are the human-centered designer, I guess.
The entire design work on mural has such an amazing layout. You want to put in all your effort while working on it. So basically the impact of good designs, oh, it went. I couldn't catch it.
Yeah, it's coming again.
Is I want learned.
And this is also your feedbacks about this program or about this
exactly
question phase. And after then, in generally, we will pick some of them or everything to our final reports. And after then, we can evaluate we can redesign this process of learning experience of this program. And thank you so much your cooperation.
Yes.
Problems, right? Don't forget general. What's the difference of general problem-solving approach and human-centered design approach? Human-centered design every time starts with human. Okay. Not solution idea. Start with human. That's thinking deeply about problems to put yourself in. Yeah, I love reading people condition on life post-COVID from survey. I learned that everyone's facing different kind of, yeah.
Exactly.
So
glad we have different.
They are the ambassadors of their community, right? The optimistic ones to create create possibilities for their communities. It is very good to see this these great possibilities, and they learned lots of things until inspiration. Cool, guys.
Yes,
Very good,
I
very good.
really loved your answers. Thank you so much. So something new is coming, or we are done?
Yeah, I guess they need to sleep and we need to sleep.
Yes, or maybe we need to eat something.
Guys, and of course, first of all, dear Alina, dear Belis, dear Buse, and dear all participants, thank you so much. Your wise words, sentences, questions for the inspiration. This is the end of the inspiration phase. After then, we will continue with the ideation phase, with the, I think, most full of fun session we call Word Cafe. Belis will facilitate
Yes.
this.
That's a really exciting.
She's so exciting.
Case. Yeah.
And don't forget,
Hiba is calling.
yeah.
Oh, World Cafe.
Don't forget your teamwork session after the next 2 days, after today. And please complete your to-dos and please ask your questions in your team channel to your team facilitators.
Yes, please.
Already...
Please mention us, guys. If you need help, if you need to ask questions, please mention us so we can see your questions.
Don't worry if we back to very quickly. We are already alive.
Yes.
Patience and hard work.
Ask a question, actually, dear Göksel.
Okay.
Do all team members have to be on the mural? Only one person access it on our team.
It's up to you. If you want to make a Zoom call for everyone, it was enough. It's enough the one people share your screen. But my suggestion is every team member can see the whole process in the mural to tackle your design challenge.
Exactly.
Okay.
So, dear Ayan, we can talk it in Slack channel if you
yes,
if you okay for this.
This is the end of this session, guys.
Yes, today we finished today.
Bye-bye.
So I want to tell you thank you so much and say goodbye to all.
Bye-bye.
Stay safe. Goodbye. Take care of yourself.
Hoşça kal. Görüşürüz.
Afiyet olsun Hiba. Thank you so much Hiba. Bon appetit.
Eyvallah, çok sağ görüşürüz.
You know eyvallah? Eyvallah?
Eyvallah.
Eyvallah, I know.
Hasta la vista, Muhammad.
My part with the name of God, Allah. Yeah, eyvallah.
وداعا السلام عليكم.
Bye bye. Alaikum salam.